Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. This is Healing. This is Shaman Marcus. I am Shaman Marcus with Healing with Marcus. We are doing our weekly live, and you are most welcome here. You are most welcome here. I am so grateful that we get to sit in this sacred space together, that we get to share these moments. Hi, Ellie K. Dear sister. So grateful you're always here. Johnny Neal, happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day and happy Monday. Oh, yes. Ooh, ooh. Lots of love in the air. Lots of love. Lots of love. Feel into your body for just a moment. Just feel into yourself. Toyo ko tahi. Just feel. Take a few deep breaths. Move your awareness into your inner body, into your heart, into your sacral chakra. Activate those roots from the root chakra and down into Earth Mother. Feel it. So we are here. I'm gonna have a sip of my cacao. We are here to share this journey that we are all on. Yes, we're here to share a few moments of life, of love. Sierras and sunsets, welcome on board. Nice to see you here. So welcome on board, everyone. We are a group of people who sit live here on YouTube every week, and we're creating a little group of people, a little fellowship, and a little community of spiritual seekers, spiritual finders, so we can support each other on this growth process that we are all in. If you have somewhat of an open mind, you're already far ahead on your journey. It is really easy to sit in our old mindset. It's really easy to be caught up in what we call heavy thought forms, ego identifications. And the video from last week was about heavy thought forms. But I'd like to address that even more because some of these topics are, of course, they're really deep. So it's good to talk about it some more. And when we go into our heart space, when we come into our body and we feel into our life force energy, we are moving our awareness away from the heavy thought forms. And that is a very, very good space to move into in these healing sessions. And when we go into the healing at the towards, in a few minutes, in about half an hour or so, or maybe 20 minutes, we enter into a space that is way more of an energetic space than your actual thought forms of your day-to-day life. And as we move into that energy space, this is where your whole body, both the physical part of you and the energetic parts of you and your spiritual side, all of it consists of different forms of vibrations. And at times, I talk about this all the time, right? Blockages in your system. Talk about different forms of trauma that get stuck in the physicality of our body, of our being. And when it's stuck, the vibration of the cells in that area, because of the contraction in the body, the vibration is lower, it's slower. There are things we can do to lower that vibration or raise the vibration. When we are partaking in old thought form patterns, old thought form behaviors. Let's say that we always end up going to clubs, or we always end up drinking too much, or we always end up doing things that are not for our highest good. We are sitting in those lower vibrations often. And this isn't to be judgmental. This is more to sit with what is going on in my life? Can I see myself clearly? Can I see that when I run my life with the old thought patterns, the heavy thought forms of identification, or old ways of soothing myself, right? Because we all have different ways of soothing ourselves. It can be food, can be sex, can be drinks, can be drugs, could be anything, or even other people at times. When we are able to see that we are filling ourselves up with outer experiences so that we can feel better, we are often covering up those feelings of inadequacy or fear or not being good enough that often they're hiding in our system. And often they can be running our lives. So many of our decisions, if I look back on my life, and I believe if you can look back on yours, you may be able to see that a lot of things we did, whether it be, hang on one second, whether it be going into relationships, or if we are going into behaviors, or even certain jobs that are not necessarily for our highest good, it's really easy to engage the old feelings in our body. And then when we are trapped in the old thought forms, it's really easy to also create a lot of both harm for ourselves, which often becomes harm for others as well. And we can go into aggression, to pretty violent behaviors, violent towards ourselves, violent to others, where we're not in touch with our feelings. We are not in touch with our deeper self. And as we go on this journey, where we go within, we go into our heart space, we go into our lives, into ourselves, life force energy, we are softening towards those heavy thought forms. We are softening to fear that's hiding in our body. We are softening towards the ego. And when we look around, we can easily see that manifestations from the ego are often very hardened. They're very much in a hard space. So softening is often a way to go past your ego, past what's going on, the blockages, and feel into the system. And when we identify or find a blockage in our body, we start breathing space into it. This is another way of softening. As we drop our minds into our hearts, into our body, and we start to breathe space into ourselves, we soften. And these heavy thought forms, they are manifesting in the world stage, right? If we look at the big parts of the world, there's wars going on that are based in heavy thought forms. They are based in, well, I am from this country, so I don't like people from that country. I am from this culture, this religion. I don't like people from that religion or that culture. These are heavy thought forms. These are ego manifestations. They're not actually who we are, right? When you come back into your body, when you come back to your healing space, you as well as I, we begin to recognize that we have love running in our hearts, love running as a light energy in our body. When we find that love, that inner love, in the sacral chakra, in the heart chakra, filling ourselves up, we can easily see that when people talk about war in the world, they're operating from heavy thought forms. And then we are manifesting from those heavy thought forms. We're manifesting suffering. And that's going on in the world right now, on the world stage, right? And of course, none of that is truly honest, right? It's not coming from an honest space of, I want to create love in the world. It's coming from certain corporations wanting to make more money. So they are convincing people that these people over here are bad. They're creating more and more separation. And as we do that, as we start, if you pick up on the separation and you get caught up in it, it's really easy to be, "Ah, yeah, those people there, yeah, those people there." It's really easy to get into that state. This is why it's important to see, what are we feeding ourselves? Are we feeding ourselves with loving vibrations, loving music, loving energy, loving movies, whatever, whatever it is? Are we able to stay away from the news as much as possible? Because the news are, of course, full of heavy thought forms, full of negativity, full of suffering and pain. And if we feed ourselves more of that love that's already in your system, we start to recognize, oh, but even though there is stuff going on in the world that's not positive, I feel my love in my heart. I feel light inside of me. And as we feel that love, we can grow and we expand. This love helps us to melt the heavy thought forms. It melts away the identifications that we carry with our outer self, right? It's so easy. It's so easy to get blinded by what we see, right? So you see a guy with a beard and a certain skin tone. And if it's in your system, God, those people are bad, and I have this beard and this skin tone, then you're going to think I'm bad just by seeing me. But if you feel into your heart, you feel a different level of truth. Just like I feel a different level of truth. And it sure is a very powerful and beautiful space to journey into. As we go and we become more, here's where meditation becomes important. As we get on with our own meditation, we get on board with our own meditation, we can anchor and ground into our sense of self-love. Welcome on board, everyone who are coming on here. As we ground into that sense of love and that sense of power that comes from growing roots into Earth Mother, opening our hearts up, sitting in an open space, even though we want to make sure we have a good bubble of light around us, right? So we're not letting a lot of negativity come in. We're sitting in our inner love. Then we set the tone for how we want to feel, how we want to interact with people, how we choose to see reality around us. And if we're coming from that space of inner love, a lot of things shift. A lot of things shift. So we start to see this, if you look at what they call quantum physics, they're talking about the observable universe, and that the observer, that how you see things is what you're looking for is what you find, basically. So in that sense, we are manifesting our own reality, because we are manifesting our perception of how we see reality. And when we come into then, if we focus a lot on the negative stuff in life, our lives look negative. But if we come back into that love space and we start to manifest from that space, we start to see more love. And we might be able to see, if this happened to me 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would have been a wreck. But now that I can see that maybe there are other outcomes, maybe there's more positive outcomes and lessons and teachings coming out of it, I can approach a situation that used to be so difficult in such a different way. Such a different way. So it is important as all heck to look for heavy thought forms in our system. Where do we carry them? Where are they? Are there heavy thought forms active in you right now? And if there are, can you identify them? Can you see that? Because it's easy when we get triggered by something. If we get triggered by, oh my God, that's so bad, that's terrible. Can you see that that's actually a heavy thought form in your system? And I'm not saying that we need to blindly accept everything without having a feeling around it. But I am saying that when we are sitting in a strong judgmental state, we are caught up in heavy thought forms. And we are usually forgetting our inner love. We are usually not in touch with the roots into Earth Mother, with the connection to the universe itself. It's like we're forgetting that we are all part of the whole. And when people forget, if we look around, it's easy to see that the people who speak about war and think it's a good solution, that the people who want to do that, they forgot. They're asleep. And often we can see that when we're caught up in these heavy thought forms, we go into sleep. We fall asleep again. That's why they call it an awakening, right? An awakening is starting to see through your own mental patterns. So you can start to recognize, did I really mean to judge that person so harshly? Did I really mean to be so angry or negative about this or that? Or is it really that I should feel this disempowered? Because even sitting in a space of feeling so powerless can be based in heavy thought forms, right? So if we are traumatized from our upbringing, which so many of us are, different ways, if I feel powerless from my upbringing and I keep being caught in that feeling of I have no power, no agency in my own life, I can't do anything, I'm caught, I'm trapped. We are unfortunately asleep. We forgot the connection to the universe. We forgot that we are part of life on our planet. We are part of nature on this earth. And as we remember that, we start coming back home into our power, into our energy. And we actually that's when Earth Mother and all the energies that are working around us, they come in to support you. They come in to support me. Because suddenly when we are in alignment with our higher self, a lot of things are working for you suddenly. And as if we get caught up in heavy thought forms again, sometimes they're new heavy thought forms. Sometimes if we have an awakening feeling, a sense, oh my God, I have become so spiritual, that it's easy to judge people. Oh my God, they're not that spiritual. They're not that spiritual. It's not that it's unhealthy to see that somebody else is caught up in their thought forms, caught up in their negativity, but it doesn't really mean that it helps me or them if I sit in judgment, right? There's a sense of discernment where we can start using a higher sense of intuition, a higher sense of self, adding in the love from the heart, and we can start to use our higher intelligence to determine, is this good or is this healthy or unhealthy for me? Is this healthy or unhealthy in my direction of my life? So a lot of this is about empowering ourselves so we can grow into our highest sense of self, so that you have a chance to become that gigantic spiritual being that you are. So you can listen to your soul, to the yearning. There you go, L11. It's all happening for you, not to you. Absolutely. We can see how another friend of mine was just saying, 11, we were good friends, right? Another friend was also saying, how is this for me? When something goes against you, it seems like, oh my God, this is going against me. How can I shift my perception and go, how is this for me? What can I learn from this? And there's so many examples that once your mindset shifts, it's so much easier to get through things that used to be very difficult. Suddenly they're not that hard. Suddenly they're beautiful. And suddenly, when you are expecting good things to happen for you, good things happen for you. And yes, it's not always easy to sit in that frequency because things can come in and attack us. Things can come in and knock us off our center. We can feel caught up in old patterns. We can feel caught up in old feelings. But they only come up so we can see them. They only come up so we can learn how to move through the muck that we used to live in. And I don't know your particular life, I know some of you, we are friends, but I don't know all the people who are watching these. But I do know that many people on a spiritual path have had a fairly traumatizing, heavy, maybe a dark past. I've had some pretty dark moments, many dark moments in my life. And I've lived in dark spaces as well. So it's easy for me to pick up examples of, oh God, I'm so grateful I don't live in that space anymore. I'm so grateful that even though it seems hard now, I'm not in the space I used to be in. I'm not depressed, sad, feeling victimized, feeling, totally overwhelmed by life all the time, And when I can see, because I took a lot of bad actions based on those feelings, when I can see that, I'm like, oh, we're learning, we're growing, we're coming into our power, right? So this year is starting off with a bang in many good ways. In many good ways, we're starting off with a lot of energy coming in. And this is the time when you and I, people like you and I, we step into our leadership roles. And it doesn't mean that we walk around telling the whole world what to do all the time. But it does mean that as you step into your inner sovereignty, your inner expression of life, and you start to feel connected, when you interact with people at the grocery store, when you interact with people at your work, when you interact with yourself in different situations, it is so much easier to be, oh, my interactions are shifting. And people around us start to feel better. They start to feel happier from our interactions. This is because you're leading with heart. You're leading with love. As you're coming, and this is where all of this spiritual work that is based in meditation becomes a very practical way of living. But it does require that we also soften. So we can see when we are not in a softened space. So we can see when we are suddenly in that ego-driven, fear-driven, hardened space again. It's such a beautiful journey we're on. And even if you just find yourself softening a tiny bit, you find yourself go, oh, I feel a little different. My God, that little difference is leading into those changes that over time becomes a whole path, a whole journey, right? So we are on this spiritual path together. And we who are sitting here and we're sharing these moments, you are hearing these words, they are speaking into your heart. They are vibrating, the vibrations that are coming through. These are thoughts, right? Feelings and thoughts, energy moving through the membrane of Marcus, creating words. These words are resonating deep inside of you, deep in your heart, deep in your body. And you can feel a sense of truth. And when we start to feel that, we go, oh, I feel better. Maybe the things I was so worried about aren't that much to worry about. Maybe these things that are all caught up in my mind aren't as important. Maybe it's more important that I feel healthy and happy in my heart, that I feel life force energy coming through me. Because of course, nothing wrong with taking responsibility, as we call it, for our reality, for what we feel, how we act, what's going on in our lives, our intention, right, for our lives. But when we let the mind take over, which is the hardened, heavy thought forms, we forget that love in the heart. And we don't move with love anymore. We move from other spaces. So we leave a wake in the energy field. A wake is what the boat on the ocean leaves, right? A boat on the ocean leaves waves behind it, what they call a wake. And as you move through your life from a sense of love, your wake is a sense of love, right? So and it's the most beautiful thing when we start to recognize that, oh, wait a second. So when I think of this person or that person, it brings me joy, right? So you have a few people in your life where you go, oh, I feel better when I think of them. Not that we have to own anybody, not that we have to call each other talk all the time, but we feel better when we think of some people. And even huge spiritual masters that have lived in our time frame, some of the Hindu gurus, some of the energy, the spirit of Jesus, some of the beautiful teachers that have lived, when we sit with them and we think of them in our hearts, it's easy to feel a jolt of love or joy or safety or beauty. Yeah. And that's what we can do for each other as well. So every now and then you'll think of me, you'll think of somebody else, and you go, oh yeah, that felt so good. Even that felt so good. Raises how you feel in the moment. And your wake behind you is shifting. You're shifting your imprint in the quantum field and in this field of existence. And it is the most beautiful journey. So today we were discussing a lot of what we call heavy thought forms. And it's important to recognize them. We see them, like I said, we see them in the news all the time. We see them in regular society, what we call the matrix. The matrix is full of heavy thought forms. When we are identified with any outer circumstances, when we're identified with where we're from, I'm Swedish, therefore I am this way or that way, that's untrue. Sure, I may have certain thought patterns, I may have certain behaviors that are based in where I'm from, but the truth is I am life living now. I am life expressing itself in this moment. You are life expressing itself in this moment. And in that perspective, it does not matter what country we grew up in, what part of the US we grew up in. It does not matter where we're from. It only matters our connection to our hearts. It only matters our connection to sacral chakra, to feelings of love in our body. Right? Because then the wake and how we move through the world, we move with beauty. And we start seeing more beauty. Ah, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Oh. And if you feel called to being a healer, you feel free to reach out. Feel free to connect with me, and we should start discussing if there's anything I can do to support you on your journey. Or potentially, we can work with people together. There are many things that have popped up in this reality that we call the 3D matrix, and in our 2023, which was a difficult year for so many, there are so much stuff that popped up for many people during those years or last year. And there are many people who come to see me for help now. There are many people who come for guidance, for help, for healing. And some people have very, very strong afflictions. There's a lot of people who are hearing attacks. They feel attacked and they hear entities, they hear voices, they feel like things are going on. So if you're one of them, feel free to reach out. There may be something we can do to help out. Because it's a lot going on right now. There's a lot. So, but we are sitting in our love, right? We're going to go in and do our healing session. And I see that we are quite a few people on this live today. If you haven't been a part of the healing before, feel free to stay if you want and experience what's coming on, what's happening. And if you feel like the talk is all I want, then feel free to do what you want. But in this healing session, I usually have an intention for us, and I want you to set an intention for yourself, for what you want to experience. If you want to release something out of your life, out of your system, out of your thought patterns, you want to release heavy thought forms, you want to come into your body more, whatever that might be, the vibrations and frequencies that come through me, because there's a lot of sounds that work through me, they work in the energy field, but they also work practically with your body. So the drumming, the sounds, and the sounds that are working through me, they're very unusual. So I would like to just suggest, like, don't be afraid, don't feel strange. Just see if you can sit with an open mind and take it in. So with that, we're going to move into our healing part, the healing part of this. And the intention I'd like to set up for all of us is to increase that level of love and light in our body. Increase the connectivity so you can feel your life force energy. One way to do this is envision yourself growing roots into Earth Mother. And another way to do this is to envision yourself being held in a bubble of light. Let this light stream from inside of you, from your heart, from your sacral chakra, fill you up and hold your whole self in a bubble of light. All right, here we go. So just relax into your system. Take a few deep breaths into your body. I'm opening up sacred space for us so that we sit in safe, sacred space. I am Shaman Marcus, and I am of the tribe of the kings and queens of old. And I call on the winds of the south, represented by the serpent, to come here and hold sacred space for us, and to activate the deepest level of healing from the root chakra and sacral chakra and up in your body. I call on the winds of the east, the condor, the eagle, and the dragon, to come and hold sacred space for us and to guide us into the realm of the unseen. I call on the winds of the north, represented by the raven. The raven is the all-knowing sage of our world. And we ask that the raven hold sacred space for us and activate the deepest level of knowing in your whole system. And lastly, we call on the winds of the west, represented by the jaguar. This is the holy warrior of our planet. We ask that she lend us her courage into our hearts, and that she guard our sacred space. Then we come over to the direction below Earth Mother, Pachamama. We ask that Pachamama, Earth Mother, hold us in her loving embrace. We experience it as gravity. But we also experience those roots being grown, being held in sacred space. We ask that Father Sky, Father Sun, come here and hold us in sacred space from above. Oh, that we get that filling, life-filling energy. We have Saint Michael with the sword of light, sword of truth, to cut the cords and to guide us into our inner truth with that sword of light. Cut the cords when it's for the highest good of all involved. We call on Strangle the dragon, Maya the wolf, and Bea the bear, our power animals, to come here and hold sacred space for us and facilitate the healing here tonight. We call on our spirit guides, Sam and his brothers. We ask that they facilitate this healing and that they guide us through this healing into sacred space. We have the tribe, the kings and queens of old. We're grateful we get to meet in this energetic sphere that we are all sitting in now together. We have Umbute and her loving energy. So much love, so much love. We have the ancestors and the friends and the family on the other side of the veil, watching over us, nudging us, keeping us in a good, safe space. We call on life force energy so we can recognize it, we can feel it. We have the Hindu lineage, the Indian gurus, we have Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar Giri, Lahiri Mahasaya, Sri Ramana Mahirshi, and Mahavatar Babaji. They're holding a very high frequency. Lots of knowing. Then we have the power of the Norse. We call in Odin with the wisdom and the strength and power. Call in Freya with her love for life, bringing in new life. And we call on Thor with his courage and power. Then we have Stafner and Rafner, our allies, and we have Hugin and Moonin. Mawata Eyogotai. Keep breathing into your body. Keep feeling into your system. Oh, hey. Allow the healing to take place. Deo, 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 Waka Deo, Daya, 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 Deoto, Deoto, Deoto. Ayo. Yo. Dai yo. Yo 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 Hey yo 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 yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Dai yo go dai ya de yo 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 yo. Dai oi 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 Oh, wow, 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 wow. yo yo. Oyo. Oy. Oy. Ahe toyo. Ahe. Toyo yo to daya. Teo. I am Shaman Marcus, and I am of the tribe of kings and queens of old. And I say thank you to the winds of the south, the winds of the east, the winds of the north, the winds of the west. Say thank you to Earth Mother, Father Sky. We say thank you to Saint Michael with the sword of light, sword of truth. Thank you to Strangle the dragon, to Maya the wolf, and Bayo the bear. To Tatanka. We say thank you to Sam and his brothers. To the guides that are with you, to your power animals, we say thank you. We say thank you to the tribe of kings and queens of old, to Umbute and her loving energy. We say thank you to the ancestors, the friends and the family on the other side. To life force energy itself. We say thank you to Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswargiri Mahavatar Babaji, Lahiri Mahasaya, and Sri Ramana Maharshi. For their support, their love from the field of the unseen. We say thank you to Odin and Freya and Thor, to Stafner and Rafner, to Hugin and Munin. Most of all, we say thank you to you for being here, being a part of this healing journey, having these experiences. We're going to close with that chant. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Om Todo. Daya. We're so happy you were here. We're so grateful you are here, that we share this journey together. I wish you so much love, so much light, so much power, and healing. Feel free to reach out to me at any point. Send me a message, comment on the videos, share. So much love. Thank you, Ellie K. Thank you, Johnny Neal. Thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Sierras and Sunsets. Thank you, everybody who were on here. Namaste and aho. See you again next week. Bye.